It's nice when you are standing in the middle of now and observing what's going on, that knowing what you don't want helps you to know what you do want, doesn't it? And when you know what you don't want, which causes you to know what you do want, you launch a meaningful rocket of desire about what you do want. You do. Now, it doesn't mean that this red hot minute, that what you do want is going to transform from what you don't want. That isn't the way it works, is it? Because we do not live in an environment of instant manifestation. But what does happen is that your desire does move in a vibrational form into what, if you've been listening to us for a while, you've heard us call the vortex of creation. And so here is this vibrational reality that is forming. You aware of that? You've heard us talking about the vortex, wrote a whole book about it. The idea of the vortex annoyed you because we continue to say to you that what you want is going into this vortex. And then you began saying things to us like, how do I get my money out of the vortex and into the bank? In other words, it's a little annoying to accept that there is this vibrational reality that you cannot yet see or hear or smell or taste or touch or spend or sleep with, because it hasn't manifested. You have not realized it in its what you want to call tangible form. But we want you to understand that even though it has not yet manifested, and even though you cannot realize it in its tangible form quite yet, that it is a reality that does exist, and that law of attraction is causing a coming together of things like it. In other words, law of attraction is bringing all cooperative components for whatever it is that you are wanting. All cooperative components. Recently, we had a wonderful conversation with a woman sitting in the hot seat. And she made a very clear statement. Abraham, I would like to have $100,000 because I want to travel and I would like it soon, please. And we said to her, it's important to notice that your journey, your traveling journey, which is what she wanted the money for, did not just begin when that desire or idea about getting money in order to travel was formulated within you. That journey has been a long time in the making. In other words, life has been sifted and sorted by you, and you've been launching these rockets of desires, and there is a reality that is forming, that is becoming bigger and bigger. It is getting ready to be known by you, but it is a vibrational thing that cannot be seen by you yet, but it can be felt by you. In other words, you can feel your desires coming into formation if you will be sensitive to the way you feel. We want you to know unequivocally how your thoughts turn to things. We want you to know how it is that you create your own reality, how your thoughts turn to the manifested aspects of your life that you want to enjoy so much. We know for sure that you can be or do or have anything that you desire. We also know that there are many things that you believe that you desire that have not manifested yet. And we want you to leave this gathering understanding why things have been slow in coming, why some things you want have not come yet, or why some things that you do not want have come. We want you to understand the vibrational basis of your experience so that you can then have the absolute feeling of control of your own life experience. Because that is the only way that you will ever find that feeling of freedom that you so much are wanting. It feels so often that others are doing things to you, but that cannot be. You must be meeting them on a vibrational basis. You must be meeting them. Law of attraction does not put you together with things that you are not a vibrational match to. And the nice thing about that is that as you come together with things unwanted, and you say, I don't want to acknowledge that I'm a vibrational match to this thing that I do not want. The wonderful thing about that is that it helps you to process and sort and to define more clearly what it is that you do want. And it is our promise that as you live those things that you do not want and you launch those stronger rockets of desires, further clarification every day, sending information to your vortex, literally to your inner being, to the source within you of what you now want in this leading edge experience that you are the creator of. As you are launching these rockets of desire and your vortex is growing, you will be the manifester of it. You just have to relax and feel good about who you are. You just have to trust that you are the creator of your own reality. But the more important thing that we want you to understand is not just that you are the creator of your own reality, but that the well-meaning part of you is dominating everything that is coming to you. We want you to understand that there are a lot of non-physical energies that are surrounding you and rooting for your vibrational tuning to the well-being that you so much want and deserve. There is nothing that will bring you sooner and hold you steadier to an understanding of the worthiness of your being than to identify what the vibrational essence that you've got going on is. And the way that you identify what the vibrational essence of what you've got going on is by the way you feel. Your emotions let you know that. Have you been listening to us for a while? Are you understanding that you create your own reality? Do you understand that there's a vibrational basis of you which is your point of attraction, and that changes as your mood changes? In other words, the mood you have, if you're ornery, or if you're worried, or if you're angry, or if you're joyful, if you're feeling appreciation, depending upon what emotion you are feeling or what mood you're hanging around in, that mood is the clearest indicator of what your point of attraction is. And so, even though you've asked for all kinds of well-being, and you certainly deserve it, the mood or attitude that you are walking around with every day is your indicator of how much of that vortexual wonderfulness that you have gathered up that is getting ready for you to be the receiver of. Your mood or attitude is your indicator of how well you are doing in the allowing of yourself to be the receiver of it. Some years ago, Jerry was wanting to write a book. He talked about it to Esther a lot. And the book was about turning thoughts to things. He wanted it to be more understood by more people, how it is that those thoughts do turn to things. And so we've been talking about that very thing for quite a long time. How it is that the vibration that you are harboring, the vibration that you've got going, which means the thoughts that you are thinking, which means the beliefs that you hold, because your beliefs are just thoughts that you continue to think. How those beliefs that you hold emanate a vibration that equals your point of attraction, which equals what comes into your experience, or better said, what you realize and allow to come into your experience. And so we want you to leave this gathering today with a very keen sense of how it is that you receive an idea. You know what that feels like when you get an idea of, oh, I want that, or I want to go over there. That strong idea that is so compelling that you cannot squash it at all. You know what we're talking about? Do you know what we're talking about? Ever felt like that? Well, if you've ever felt like that, what is happening in that moment is that a desire that you have been holding, a desire that is in your vortex, that has been ripe and ready for your receiving of, it's already been revealed to you. But the question is, are you in the vibrational place where you can receive it? When you get that idea, when that idea is strong and full within you, and you have that impulse of, oh, I have this idea, that is what that receptive mode feels like. And that is from the perspective of the creative process of sorting and sifting and knowing what you don't want and knowing what you do want and filling your vortex full of all kinds of things for a long period of time, some of them even before you came into this physical body. And that non-physical energy building and building and building and building, momentum coming stronger and stronger because your inner being stands right there in the middle of that vibrational vortex, causing it to become bigger and bigger and bigger. And as it grows bigger and bigger and bigger, the only question is, where are you in your human personality in vibrational relationship with it? So here's all this desire, all these things that you've created, all of this magnificent abundance and all of this well-being, all of it there for you. The question is, where are you in vibrational relationship to it? What's your mood? What's your attitude? What are your chronic beliefs? So as you've been feeling better, as you've been more cheerful, as you've been meditating more, as you've been looking for positive aspects of this and that, as you've been holding yourself more substantially, more often, more chronically, in that vibrational place of well-being, now you are more likely to be in that receptive mode where that idea occurs to you. And then as you follow those impulses, that's how your thoughts turn to things. It is law-based. It is deeper and more powerful than any scientific thing that you've got going on. This law of attraction is powerful and consistent, but you've got to figure out what your relationship with it is. So you are more than this physical body. Do you know that? You were source energy before you got here, and you're still source energy even though you are here. The non-physical part of you is aware of everything that you are doing. The non-physical part of you knows where you stand right now in relationship to everything you want, knows the vibrational variance, we've been calling that the gap, the vibrational variance between where you are in terms of what you want and what you want. And even more important, your inner being knows what the path of least resistance is for you to move yourself from where you are in relationship to anything, like money or relationships or anything, to move you from where you are to where you really want to be. And so as you come to understand that you have a source within you, we refer to it as your inner being, but you can call it whatever you want. You have an inner being within you who knows where you are and knows what the path of least resistance is from where you stand to where you want to be. Now that path of least resistance, that's an important thing to understand, because the path of least resistance is just about the stuff, the resistance that you've thrown on your path. It's talking about your doubts or your fears, the things that you worry about. When you would like, let's say for example, because it's rampant in the energy, when you would like an extra $100,000 or 200 or 300 or 400 today or tomorrow or the next day, when you're wanting an increase in the dollars that are flowing into your experience, but you believe that that's not likely, or you believe that you've come so far without it, and so it's not logical that you would move forward anytime soon with it, or you believe that you don't know a lot of people around you, that money is just dropping into their lap, or you believe that you have to work very hard for it, and you're already working very hard for the money that you have, and so how much harder would you have to work for more money? How many more hours would you have to spend? So as you have those kinds of thoughts going on in relationship to the desire that you hold, those thoughts are the resistance that you've thrown on your trail. So when we say your inner being knows what your path of least resistance is, what that means is your inner being knows what your likely thoughts are about anything and everything. And your inner being knows how to guide you around them. Your inner being knows how to inspire you with a question that once the answer comes, you'll be in a new vibrational place. Your inner being knows how to, as easily as you will allow, lead you to everything that is important to you. And we want you to know, this is really an important place to begin. We want you to know that your inner being is not standing around with other inner beings. We are a big gang. Your inner being is not standing around with other inner beings and complaining about how much resistance is in your way. Your inner being isn't wishing that you hadn't done that when you were 12 or 14 or 15. Your inner being isn't holding any attention on those unwanted things. Your inner being is giving only undivided full attention to the pure positive energy of your desire. And as you understand that that's what's going on, that your inner being is focused precisely and purely upon the things that you want, and only your doubtful thoughts are in the way. But even though you have doubtful thoughts, your inner being is still calling you over and around and under and through any doubtful thoughts that you have, so that those doubts can dissipate. And this is the thing that we wish most for you, that you could come to understand that you can be or do or have anything that you desire. You just have to take it one step at a time. You just have to allow yourself to feel as good as you can feel right now. Everything always comes from something, and everything is always working out for you, and nothing is ever going wrong. You're just continually having exposure to life that is causing you to clarify and design or divine with greater specifics, because you are the creator of your own reality.